Hey YTYG, and happy Monday. This week, Alan, Teacup, and I are going to be sharing our testimonies, which I know it's a little bit Christianese anyway, so really we're just going to be sharing our stories, We're all believers, and it starts out about like how we maybe grew up, became believers, but then it just continues. God is still writing all of our stories, so it's just going to be short vids on just who we are, how we've gotten to where we are. Maybe you guys will be able to relate a little bit, and we would love to see videos, read some comments about just your stories and how God has been working in your lives. It's the story that He's writing for me, and because of that, I don't really need to be in the video. So if you guys can just listen along and doing other things, I don't mind. I was born in Texas, Houston. Holler at your girl. I'm a Texas gal, but my parents weren't married when they had me. My mom was barely 17, it was just a weird environment to raise a young. I was barely 6 months old, and my mom began to notice that the money was leaving our house, money that she kept saving, and found out my dad was doing drugs. So she took me out of that environment, and we moved to Maryland. Consider it my home. I've been raised in Maryland. I still continue to live there right now. But so in Maryland, I was going to school there. When I hit about 6th grade, I just started battling with a bunch of different things. Those things a lot of people go through, confidence issues, just feeling like I didn't belong, but also some battles with depression, just struggling through life, trying to make ends meet, and I had gone to church. I had people in my family who weren't Christians, but it was never required or anything to go to church, so I was like, whatever. I had ideas about who God was. By the end of 6th grade, I was pretty far gone, seeing a lot of counselors, taking a lot of medicine. There wasn't much that I was doing. I was kind of just going to school, whatever. My mom knew definitely something was wrong. 7th grade, she decided to put me in a private school. It was an awesome private school. A week into it, they went on a 7th grade retreat, as you entered middle school. And I really was able to get a glimpse of who God was, what Christians really look like, and understanding that God was my Father above all else. I really latched onto that and continue to. But there doesn't have to be one exact moment, but if I had to pinpoint a moment when I would call myself a believer, it was then. In the next 2 years, I just spent time growing in the Word and in God and who He has made each and every one of us to be, and was able to see things that He had in store for my life. And He began to put different passions within me, and just started to develop just different spiritual gifts that He has given me. In high school, I was really worried because I've been in this closed-off Christian environment. I graduated with 8 in my 8th grade. High school was totally different than what I was expecting. I played soccer, a little football, a little lacrosse, but just I was able to get in with a great group of Christian friends. I was introduced to a youth group and an awesome church that I started to go regularly. That's wording a little bit. I did go to college, had a great experience in college. But now, it's a different type of learning that I'm experiencing as God is preparing me for what's next. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. It's a daily struggle. to just remember who God is and who He continues to be, in a sense of like my later on plans, just understanding that it's all God's plan, and we really don't have any planning to do, which is just sometimes stressful, maybe a little annoying, but at the same time just so comforting to know that we can't have any expectations, which makes it awesome. And I'd say a verse. That's just a little bit about me. You definitely could ask more at any point or anything like that. The verse that I'm going to share with you guys before I peace out is Philippians 1:21, and it talks about, for me to live is Christ and to die is gain, and Paul's writing it, and it's weird. Living is Christ, that part makes sense. Dying is gain. I mean, thank God that as a believer we can gain eternal life, which is going to just be amazing. So excited. But this verse is what I'd call, I guess, my life verse. For me to live is sometimes my iPod. For me to live sometimes is my friends. For me to live sometimes is my own selfishness, my own righteousness. For me to live sometimes is my new shoes or the car that I want. Anything like that. For me to live is sometimes this thing, and it needs to always be Christ, which is a good remember. So just look it up, Philippians 1:21, great, awesome verse. That's a little bit about me and who I am. Yeah, Alan and Teacup are going to share their stories as well, and I hope to hear from you too. Thanks, guys.